Saline High School. If you're watching this, you probably use it every day. With over 1,000 students daily, it is one of the most developed high schools in the state of Michigan. But have you ever wondered what went into its construction? What pushed for the development of this high school in a town like Saline? Surprisingly, this high school has a lot of story to it and its construction. From idea to development to building. This is the history of Saline High School. To start with the Saline High School, built in 2004, would be to ignore a vital part in the history of Saline education. The beginning of education in Saline started with the creation of the original Union School, constructed in the late 19th century. This building had an old Italian style to it and was built to occupy only around 20 students at most. Eventually, the further development of Saline as a city increased the overall population. This led to the creation of the current Union School in 1937, which can still be seen today in downtown Saline. After the further growth in population, the education system was developed for what seemed like the last time, with the addition of the Liberty School in 1959, functioning as a high school until the current middle school was built in 1971. This brings us to our main focus, the current Saline High School. To gain information on the school, we needed someone with experience, someone who knew the inside and out of the building, someone like the principal.
I'd been at the high school for 5.5 years. I taught previously, in the late 90s, I taught high school here, marketing, business. This building was an $89 million building. That's how much it cost to build this back in 2000. Well, it was 2000 when we passed the bond, but it opened in 2004, so it took 3 years to build. It's over 550,000 square feet, so that's a pretty large building. At the time, you know, we had our old high school, which was where Saline Middle School lies today, and then the principal, Mr. Rossi, Mr. Joe Rossi, during the time of the construction of the high school, was named basically the project manager over that piece of it. So he worked with the construction management teams and the architects to see the design and the build of this beautiful facility we're sitting in today. He also worked with the staff pretty closely. There's very few staff members who are still here that were here when we opened the building in 2004. There's a number of them, but there's still many have been turned over the years, so it's kind of nice to see some of the, new fresh people coming in and seeing how beautiful this place is. And it really is 20 years old, so it's held up pretty well. The high school opened in 2004. At that time, I was the principal at Harvest Elementary, which is across the street, which was constructed during this same time. It opened in 2002. So as the building principal, I'd sit there and watch for the next 2 years as the high school was being developed and built. And so I really was part of seeing that happen, as much as I was very involved in the process for Harvest to be developed. It was kind of an honor and a privilege to be able to come back to where I graduated from in 1987 to be the building principal. And so, but the size of this place is just enormous, and it just has so many features and so many opportunities for our students to be able to come into a place that's like a mini college, if you ask me, with not only our CTE programs, our excellent academics, and then you throw in our performing arts and our athletics. It just really is a nice space, and our student body is great, along with our staff and community. But the opportunities that we prepare for students for, whether you go into a career and tech area, whether you go into the next level of education, or wherever you decide to go, we hopefully have done a job building that character and building our students into being ready for the next level of whatever that choice is.
This school represents Saline in more ways than one. This is Saline High School.